Welcome to Solo Marvel Champion, where for the first time since I started my channel, I'm home from work on a day that we get a new hero announcement. Now, we knew that this announcement was coming today, and I took a vacation day to be home, but that's beside the point. Let's go take a look at Silk. Now, just like in my Black Panther Shuri video, I am not going to read you the article. I only want to look at cards. I like that image. So let's start with Alter Ego, and then I'll click on a link to just go into the cards. Cindy Moon, 3 recovery, genius. Just like with Shuri, that's going to open up Ingenuity and Moon Girl. If there are more than 4 tucked cards here, discard all but 4 of those cards. Okay, action, discard a card tucked here. Draw 2 cards, limit once per round. That's really interesting. I guess we'll find out on hero side how we tuck cards, but being able to do that and draw 2 cards, I like. Silk, 1, 2, 3 hero, 5 hand size, 10 hit points, I assuming. Yeah, 6 hand size there. I forgot to say that. Now 1, 2, 3, that's Peter Parker's stat line, right? Yeah, he's a 1, 2, 3. Was Ghost Spider also 1, 2, 3? She was 1, 2, 3. For some reason, I thought she was 2, 2, 3. So this is the same stat line. Now, Miles Morales wasn't, was he? Oh, that's an ally. Okay, where is Spider-Man? He's a 2, 2, 2. So this has the same stat line as Peter Parker and Ghost Spider. Web Warrior, which I love. If there are more than 4 tucked here, discard all but 4. Same as Alter Ego. Silk Sense response. After you defeat a minion or side scheme or resolve a treachery, tuck that card under here from the encounter card discard pile. So, I actually got a little bit excited. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I love Collector 1. Well, this Silk Sensibility doesn't get around that because you tuck it here from the encounter discard pile. So it would still go to discard and then go to the collection. Or rather, it wouldn't go to the discard pile. It would go to the collection instead. So that doesn't work like I was hoping it would when I first saw it, but it's still pretty awesome. Also, this is a response. It's not forced. So let's see if that is going to matter. I'm just going to click on this now, even though that's the one we just saw, and move on through. 2 cost, upgrade, Spider Claws, weapon trait, Hero Interrupt. When Silk makes a basic attack, exhaust Spider Claws. For this attack, she gets +1 attack for each card tucked under her from the same encounter set as the attacked enemy. This attack gains piercing. Okay. So if you can have 4 cards under here, you could get +4 attack. And I think that's why this response is important, that it's a response and not a forced response. Because this says from the same encounter set as the attacked enemy. So if with this ability you only say, okay, I'm only going to use this Silk Sense with cards from the villain, then you're only going to have villain cards under you, and this can do up to +4. I like that a lot. If she has 2 attack, this gets her up to 6. That is really cool. And it is a weapon, so you could use Mean Swing or Fusillade with it, but why would you do that when you want to exhaust this to get possibly +4 attack? I like that, and I think it's important that this isn't tech, because Otto Octavius could... see if I can find it with auto. Yeah, if this, now this is an upgrade, so he can ready it. But if it were tech, you would also draw a card. So the fact that he can upgrade, or not upgrade, he can ready this is still important, because you could basically then attack for 6 twice. So that's going to be good with Spider-Man. I love that. 2-cost upgrade, Spider Reflexes Superpower, which is important. Deft Focus comes to mind, of course. Hero Interrupt when she defends. Exhaust this. For this attack, she gets +1 defense for each card tucked here for the same encounter set. Again, if you're saying only villain cards I'm putting under me, she can now defend for +4. On top of her 3, means she can defend for 7. After this attack, tuck the top card of the encounter discard pile under Silk. Now that could throw off your tucking strategy. If, let's say, you had 4 villain cards under here, you say, I'm only tucking the cards from the villain encounter set, and then you use this ability, and now something from a mod set gets tucked under your card, and because you can only have 4 under here, that pushes out another card. That could throw off what you want to do, but it's still super powerful. Getting +4 defense on top of 7, that opens up, perfect defense in a huge and fun way. That's crazy. And then again, it's an upgrade, so Auto could ready it. Next, 1-cost upgrade, Superpower. Eidetic Memory, Interrupt. When you reveal a card from the same encounter set as a card tucked, exhaust this, swap those cards. Reveal the card that had been tucked under her instead. Okay, so I can see a different strategy here now. This says reveal a card. It doesn't say Treachery. So let's say you're playing Claw, and you have defeated one of his minions. Who is the minion who only has 5? Is it Melter? I think it's Melter. Let's go find Melter real quick. Yeah, he only has 5 hit points, but he attacks for 3, and you have to block with an ally. Let's say you've defeated Melter, and he's tucked under you, and then, let's just go back, then the Masters of Evil comes out and says, discard cards until Masters of Evil is discarded. Well, you don't like chewing through the encounter deck with Claw, so you can say, no, I'm going to exhaust this and swap Masters of Evil and put Melter back in instead. That prevents, number one, a side scheme that you have to get rid of with an acceleration icon, but also just puts in a minion that you're happy to defeat, right? Easy to defeat, and then he can go back under you as well. So maybe it really depends on the mod sets too. I was saying you maybe only do the villain cards, as a strategy, but maybe it really depends on the mod sets. So I like that. And again, it is a superpower. I mean, superpower is great because of Deft Focus, but it is an upgrade, so Auto can ready it if you need him to. I don't think you'd need him to ready this one. Swinging, I almost said swinging web kick. Swinging silk kick. 3-cost event, aerial attack, superpower, hero action, deal 7 damage to an enemy. You may discard a card tucked under silk from the same encounter set as that enemy. If you do, this attack deals 2 additional damage in overkill. Ooh, that's 3 for 9 damage with overkill. That's better than swinging web kick. That's a great card. And of course, it being superpower. Now, I feel silly, but I haven't played Peter Parker in a while. That's not where I wanted to go. Haven't played Peter Parker in a while. Is swinging web kick, it is a superpower. It's the same. Aerial attack superpower. But I like this version. That is a really fun version. 3 for 9 with overkill, which should be pretty easy to trigger, right? If you don't, it's 3 for 7. But if you can trigger that, it's 3 for 9 with overkill. That's fun. Wall Crawl. 1-cost event. Superpower Thwart. Again, that superpower means that's going to be free with Deft Focus. Hero action. Remove 2 threat from a scheme. Stop. Choose a scheme. Stop. You may discard a card tucked under Silk from the same encounter set as the Chosen Scheme to remove 3 threat from the Chosen Scheme. So you could use Deft Focus to put this in for free and remove a total of 5 threat. That is really, really good. You do have to discard a card, so that is going to, hamper your ability to get that +4 on your attack or defense, but I still think this is great. 1 or 0 to remove 5 threat is super powerful. I love that. Then we're back to her alter ego side. Still, discarding a card to draw 2, discarding a tucked card to draw 2 is really good too. Then after I saw those other cards and realized you want to keep tucked cards under you, that could throw off what you want to do. And now, drawing 2 cards I think is still worth it. But if you're depending on +4 attack with piercing, maybe you don't discard a tucked card. So I love the ability, but sometimes I think you're going to choose not to do it. J. Jonah Jameson. That's crazy. 3 cost support, persona. Alter ego action. Exhaust this card. Search your deck and discard pile for Get the Scoop and put it into play. Action. Exhaust this card. Remove 2 threat from a side scheme. Any side scheme. And that's an action. That's not alter ego action. You could do that in hero form as well. That's a fantastic support. Any support that can do something in alter ego or hero form, I think is great. And removing 2 threat from a side scheme is huge. You could do so much with that. I mean, most of those side schemes, player side schemes, have 3 threat on them in solo. But the one specialized training comes in with 5. Put that in. Oh, this takes 2 of it off. Now you only have 3 to go, which is what the other ones come in with. I love that a lot. So let's see what Get the Scoop is. I hope it's the next card. Oh, and it is a player side scheme. 0 cost. Note that there's no victory. Alter ego action. Exhaust your identity. Remove 2 threat from here. Any player may trigger this ability. This only has 4. I don't know that I'm going to do that, per se. When defeated, the Cindy Moon player looks at the top 2 cards of the encounter deck and tucks 1 under their identity. That could be good, especially if, you just discarded 1 to draw 2 cards. Maybe you go ahead, number 1, stack the encounter deck so that you don't get a bad boost or bad encounter card. And I do like it. And you're getting 1 under you that can help with those 2 upgrades. So I do like that. I just don't think it's super powerful. Now, J. Jonah can't do this on the same turn he goes and finds you Get the Scoop because he'll be exhausted. But if you find it later, like a second time, you can do this over and over again. This is reusable. And that's why I brought up the fact that it doesn't have victory. Keep meaning to hit cards there. Let's look at Jubilee real quick. Shopping Spree, 0 cost. This one can only have threat removed by abilities. Alter ego action. This also doesn't have victory, but this one I think is a little bit harder to get back. You just have to wait for it to cycle back. I don't remember there being a way to get this back, but I could be wrong. But Get the Scoop is really interesting. I like it, and it does have some power. I just don't think it's super powerful. I think the power lies in its ability to come back to your hand. Either with J. Jonah, or there was that, I think it was called Manifold, a Justice ally in the Black Panther kit, which lets you just go find a player side scheme when it comes into play. Oops, I went the wrong direction. That could go get this again. So it's interesting. There is some power there. I want to play with it and see how it goes before I give a good judgment. Stop hitting yourself is hilarious. 2-cost event. This has Ghost Spider on the art. Attack. After you defend against an enemy, attack and take no damage. Deal damage to that enemy equal to your defense for that attack. So Silk starts with 3 defense and can get up to 7. If you get up to 7 and then play Stop Hitting Yourself, that's crazy. 2 for 7 just for defending. I love that. And you can also, play any of the perfect defense cards that are so popular. Play the one that readies you after the defense and gives you +2 defense. So now you're going to defend for 9, ready, and deal 9 to the attacker. That's crazy good. At minimum, in Silk and Spider-Man and Ghost Spider, and it's a response, which Ghost Spider likes, this can do 3 damage. 2 for 3 isn't fantastic, but you can raise your defense with those other cards. So this can be good, I think, in a lot of those heroes. This is going to be a fun card to play with, I think. Scarlet Spider, 3-cost ally, 1 thwart, 1 attack, 2 consequential on both. 5 hit points is nice. Web Warrior, interrupt. When another Web Warrior character would take any amount of damage, Scarlet Spider takes that damage instead. Holy cow. Any amount of damage. It's not just damage from an attack. So let's go find my favorite. Did I just pass it? My favorite, this guy here, Peter Parker. Response, after he attacks with thwarts, choose a Web Warrior character, ready that character. And he has 1 consequential on each. So he can attack for 2. Instead of taking consequential damage himself, he puts it on Scarlet Spider. And then you ready Silk. That's crazy. This is one you just let sit and he takes the damage for you. And that would be a fun combo with Spider-Man Peter Parker, but that's really good. I love that. He is definitely going to go into my, probably my Peter Parker deck, which means I can't run this in that deck, but my Ghost Spider deck, he is in that deck. That could be really, really powerful. And of course, it could be an attack. Maybe you take 9 damage or would take 9 damage. You can put all that 9 on Scarlet Spider and then just discard him. That is a really good ally. I think I'm going to like that. 0-cost upgrade, item tech, energy shield. Attached to a character, max 1 per character, interrupt. When attached character would take any amount of damage, spend X energy resources, prevent X of that damage. There's a lot of good use for that, too. Iron Man can take advantage of that because it's tech, and he generally runs a few more energy than other characters. Captain Marvel would like that. I think Thor would really like that. Anyone who's packing energy resources, I think is really going to like that. And, of course, Tony Stark, like I already mentioned, he loves it just because it's tech. So that's a good card, too. I like that. I'm already liking this pack. 2-cost support, Dr. Sinclair, Persona Therapist, Alter Ego action, exhaust Dr. Sinclair and spend a mental resource. So Peter Parker likes this. Because he can just generate a mental on Alter Ego. Heal damage from your Alter Ego equal to your recovery. So that is spend this free mental to heal 3. You may discard 1 status card from your identity. Any player may trigger this. So I think this is going to be really good in Peter Parker, not only for that mental resource bit, but also now, along with Aunt May, he can heal 3 without exhausting. And that opens up a lot of things. That's really cool. I said he can heal 3. he can heal 7 without exhausting. 4 from Aunt May, 3 from Dr. Sinclair. And this is kind of a mix of the Night Nurse and Aunt May. I really love that. It's only 2 cost. I think this can be a really, really good card. So there's another one I'm excited about. 1 cost upgrade, preparation, ready for a fight, requirement physical. Interrupt when an enemy would scheme, discard this, change to hero form, that enemy attacks you instead. That's just like Colossus's card. Mutant Genesis, Colossus, what was it called? Armor Up. Alter Ego Interrupt, when the villain activates, change to hero form, so he would be scheming, you change to hero form, and now he's attacking. So this is the same card. I don't know that I would play this in Black Widow, necessarily, because in Black Widow I want to stay down the whole time, but also it's a preparation which only costs 1. So you can exhaust a gauntlet, play it, and draw another card. And it's an interrupt, it's not forced, so you can use it when you think it's going to be advantageous. This is really good. But also, especially with Dr. Sinclair, where you have healed for 3 without exhausting, you can now pop this, flip up to hero, and defend for 3 or more for the attack. That is a really cool card. Madam Web, 3 cost ally, 2 thwart, 1 attack, 1 consequential each. Only 2 hit points. Web Warrior responds after she enters play. Look at the top X of the encounter deck, where X is the number of Web Warrior cards you control. You may discard 1 card looked at this way and put the rest back in any order. Anytime you can stack the encounter deck, that's really good. And I think that's really powerful. I can see me putting this in any of my Web Warrior decks, including my Cable of Life and Destiny deck. Because that is going to help, number 1, set up the encounter deck for like Hobie Brown. He's getting ready to be defeated. Make sure all of the encounter cards that you're going to discard with him have high boost cards. You can set up so that you don't get an encounter card you don't want to get. So that's really cool. And the fact that it's basic means, a lot of times in those Web Warrior decks, I'm playing mostly basic cards. Because all of the basic Web Warriors are so good, this would fit into those decks really well. 2 cost event, investigative journalism, skill, team up Cindy Moon and Peter Parker, max 1 per deck. Alter Ego Interrupt, when an enemy would scheme, cancel that activation and confuse that enemy. That's actually really, really good. The only thing I don't like is this isn't really a team-up card. This is a requirement. You have to be in Alter Ego with Cindy and have a Peter Parker ally out, or be playing Peter Parker and have a Cindy Moon out. And then you get to do this ability. It doesn't do something for both characters, and I think that's what makes it not a team-up card. We see these a lot, and I think any team-up card would be nice if it had just 1 additional line, heal 1 damage from each of those characters. Then it is a team-up. They are working together to do a thing, and because they work together, they get to heal or something. Or maybe ready both of those characters. And this is a good card, and I'll probably play it in a Peter or Silk deck. But I just hate that this is not really team up. This is a requirement, not a bonus. And it also, though, the good thing is it restricts you to only playing this in 2 decks. So, I don't know. Maybe my other complaint doesn't matter, but I just don't like team-up cards that aren't actually a team effort, if that makes sense. Okay, this is back of the pack. This is a Thunderbolt. 0, scheme, 3 attack, 18 hit points. All of these guys have a lot of hit points. Villainous Victory 1. He gets +2 hit points for each growth counter under him. Forced response. After the villain phase ends, place a growth counter on him. This could get really big. I mean, look at that. He's punching an airplane. He could get really big. And he's one you're going to want to get rid of and tuck under Silk because, number one, you don't want him coming back out. 18 plus is a lot. And then he has 4 boost icons. You don't want that coming up as a boost either. So yeah, if you're using this mod set against or in the villain you're facing, you definitely want to tuck him and say goodbye to him forever. He's not coming back even after you shuffle. So I didn't say it earlier. I just kind of thought about it. I think she's going to be really good against Claw, who chews through his deck so quickly, and then you see certain cards multiple times. That is going to, number one, prevent you from seeing cards a second time that you just don't want to see. But also on that next deck pass, it's going to go a little bit quicker because there are 4 fewer cards in his encounter deck. That said, I still think I would definitely tuck Atlas and say goodbye. Never worry about him again. Grow Invulnerable. Side scheme, 5 with a Crisis. When revealed, place 1 additional threat here for each growth counter on Atlas. That could be bad. If Atlas has 10 or more growth counters on him, the players lose the game. Holy cow. I do like an alternate lose condition, but this one is tough. This could have like 10 threat on it. You have to do that just to get rid of this loss condition. Man, that's crazy. Last card, Growing Strong, Treachery. When revealed, find him, reveal him. If he is already in play, he engages you. That doesn't matter in solo because he will already be engaged to you. Atlas activates against you. If no enemy activated this way, this card gains Surge. And boost is give the activating enemy a tough. I'm going to go back to him. So 0 scheme, but he is villainous. So you're going to get 0 plus a boost. 3 plus a boost on the attack. That's crazy. All right, so those are all the cards. That's 19 of 19. I want to take a look at one other thing because Black Panther releases on April 18th. I think they said they're going back to having 2 heroes release at a time. Where's the bottom of this article? Okay, pack arrives in April. So, let's zoom back down. And there it is. View on store. Yep, this releases April 18th also. So both of these packs are coming out on the same day, and I really love it. Also, something I want to throw out, because they're talking about retiring heroes and making things current and legacy, both Cindy Moon and Shuri have the Genius trait. And right now, I think the only place to pick up Ingenuity is in Ironheart. Ingenuity. Yeah, the only place to get that right now is in Ironheart. So I'm wondering if Ingenuity will be reprinted in one or both of these heroes. I would hope not both, but I'm only thinking about that because both Cindy and Shuri have Genius. All right, so thoughts. I'm really excited about this. I think Silk's going to be a lot of fun to play. I really enjoyed playing Ghost Spider, and I think Silk is going to give me some neat decision points, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Let me know what you're thinking. Are you excited about Silk? Are you not? Tell me anything I misinterpreted. I can misinterpret things all the time. I do it all the time. Just ask my wife. But yeah, let me know what you're thinking. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a marvelous day.